People always ask, if you can meet anybody in the world, who would you meet? And my answer for most of my life has always been Richard Branson, at least in the last several years. He has fun being a CEO and a businessman. It's not what he set out to do, but he just continued following what he loved to do, and it set him in this great track. And he's not a stuck-up CEO, and he just has fun with life. And he doesn't buy this Necker Island to, flaunt his money. He does it to use it to, live the dream and live his life to the fullest, really. It came to my, attention that it's like, that's it. I need to just take the if out of this whole equation and, go for it. I mean, the worst that can happen is nothing. One day, a few months ago, the domain name or the name of the project, Beer with Branson, just like came to mind, even before I knew what I wanted to do. And it had such a ring to it. I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. So I decided to make it my New Year's resolution. Okay, in 2010, I've got to have a beer with Richard Branson, but how do I make that happen? So I've become very influenced by social media in the last couple of years, as my generation has, and Facebook and Twitter, and of course I'm always on there, and I follow Richard Branson on there. But after reading, you see Twitter articles in the New York Times and the Free Press every week talking about Twitter. And I'm really curious that if Twitter and other social media can be a means to basically meet any person in the world, and can Twitter lead me to somebody who's as well known and famous as Richard Branson? And I think it's one of those projects that really, it could happen at any moment. It's completely feasible, whereas a few years ago, the feasibility of that was much lower. I do think that maybe we've got a few similar traits. I'm probably an entrepreneur at heart. I like starting interesting new projects, starting things like this that are maybe a little quirky and different. He does a ton of different things when he's promoting events. I think years ago he showed up to one event driving a tank, or something like where he was wearing a jail suit and a ball on his ankle. I find him so admirable because he continues to follow. He does what he wants to do, and I've always thought my life as he does cool stuff, and quite frankly, I just want to do cool stuff.